It's the Patriots against the Patriots for a chance to play the Patriots in the semifinals. Gotta love it. All right, first points of the game belong to Todd Joyce as he gets that finger roll to go. Next possession, it'll be Joyce once again. He gets his own miss, and the second effort is good, plus the foul. South led 7-1 early. Long pass here going to find Josiah King on the run as he gets the bucket and the foul for the and one for Washington. Chase Offenberger here comes up with the steal on defense, and he'll finish on the other end with some good offense, the easy layup. Cross-court pass coming up. Harry Silva's going to get doubled. And Silva's able to find Cam Fallon. He goes baseline, and his shot is good from down low. Let's go to the second quarter. Cam Shedrick, head of steam, takes some contact, still finishing at the rim. Washington now leads 28-23. Harry Silvas with the crossover now gets the floater to fall as the Patriots trailed at the half 30-25, and Washington does close it out to advance to the semis 65-58.